defensive end, that length. We'll see if that bothers some of the Cape Breton shooters closing out. Again, no matter who's defending and who's starting on London, it's going to be about discipline on the defensive end, Chris.
So we're gearing up here in London. Starting lineup for the London Lightning: Jalen Bab Harrison, Xavier Moon, Mo Bolden, Marvin Phillips, Marcus Capers for Cape Breton. We've got, of course, Mike Glover, Aaron Redpath, George Williams, Bruce Massey, and Olu Famatimi. Moments away from tip-off here at Budweiser Gardens. A good crowd here, and they're pretty loud already right to begin with, all on their feet, getting ready for the start of this game. Refs are ready, players are ready, and the ball is up. Glover wins the tip-off, but it's actually going to go to London. Moon, defended by Redpath, fights through screens. Bab Harrison cuts in. Bolden one-on-one, tough jumper. That's not going to go at all, but Bab Harrison recovers. And that's going to go off of Cape Breton. London maintaining possession in the early going. Moon works around a Phillips screen, corner jumper. No good. Phillips just gets up there and grabs it. Marvin Phillips, first bucket of the game for the Lightning.
Yeah, no, you're definitely going to want to see a lot more of that if you're London, especially in the lane. You know, maybe get
turnover here. Wow. Moon steals it. Easy 2 points. London up 4-0 right off the bat. It looked like Redpath just hit a wet spot on the floor, and there's another turnover. London recovers again. Xavier Moon thinks about it, passes to Bolden. He's going to cut in, lays it in. Can't get the and one, but he'll go to the line to shoot two. 2 turnovers in the first minute for the Cape Breton Highlanders. Coach and staff can't be happy about that.
I was just about to actually comment, Chris, that Coach Etherington must be thrilled with how his game plan has started out here.
Just like he drew it up.
Just like he drew it up. A really interesting move, going full court pressure, and not just to show full court, legitimate full court pressure right off the bat, forcing Cape Breton into 2 turnovers. One coach is going to say exactly how he drew it up. The other one's going to wonder what the heck happened between the locker room and the first few possessions.
So just a very bad start for Cape Breton as Redpath. Here's take 2 as he's going to dribble up the court. Williams. Cape Breton working around the perimeter, trying to find something. Glover covered by Phillips. It looked like that's where they were trying to go. Tip pass, another turnover. London back the other way. Bab Harrison feeds it around. No one there, though. Capers recovers. Nice pass from Capers. Phillips is going to get fouled going to the rim. He'll have a chance to shoot 2.
Unbelievable aggressiveness from London, but on both ends. You're seeing them getting up into defenders. Again, though, playing with position. They're not doing no ticky-tacking, reaching around, just forcing Cape Breton into some really rushed passes.
And I can't remember the last time I saw a team start a game in 1 minute and 20 seconds with 2 fouls and 3 turnovers. That has to be a first. Just a very rough start for the Highlanders.
They have just been punched in the mouth very early on here. Long game, but really, really impressed.
Well, I mentioned they did just play last night against the Windsor Express, a very tightly contested game. Maybe fatigue setting in a little bit early in this game. Phillips is going to miss both his free throws, though. You got to make your free throws, kids, as Cape Breton comes the other way. Shot there from Williams, no good. Bolden collects. Deep pass. Bab Harrison wide open for 3. No good. Cape Breton a chance the other way. Williams is going to pull up, assess his options. Dishes out wide. Famatimi nails it. Huge shot there for Olu Famatimi.
Great setup, was prepared, hands ready. That was just a professional 3-pointer, Chris.
Famatimi, a veteran of both NBL Canada and international basketball. Lots of experience, including a lot of time spent with St. John Riptide. Bolden working on Famatimi. Turnaround jumper, no good. Clank back the other way. This is Bruce Massey. Trying to find an opening. Moon covering him tightly. able to convert anyways. An excellent bucket there for the Highlanders.
Impressive play by Massey using his body to shield Moon, and Moon had no chance at that one and able to work his way to the lane.
6-5 Lightning, 9:28 to play in the quarter here. Xavier Moon kicks it around the perimeter. Jalen Bab Harrison tested the defense, takes a three instead. Not much time on the shot clock. Cape Breton back the other way. Redpath fakes shot. Still has his dribble. He's going to work around. Glover into the corner. Famatimi fakes, ditches Bolden, takes the jumper. And that's going to be no good. Capers just slows the pace down a bit. Inside to Phillips. London trying to assess their options here, see if they can find a crack in the Cape Breton defense. Jalen Bab Harrison drives directly to the rim. No call. That's going to go back the other way unless Bab Harrison gets his hand. No, he doesn't. Glover recovers. 6-5, 8:31 to go here. Redpath over to Glover. Glover's just going to charge inside, lose the handle, back the other way. London Lightning. They have numbers. Capers to the rim and in. Huge dunk, Marcus Capers.
You got to think, actually, I'm really liking the dynamic Capers is bringing to this starting lineup. You're seeing him getting out in transition, and London on a lot of these turnovers by Cape Breton really taking advantage. This is very last year-esque of the London Lightning, Chris.
8-5, 8 minutes to go here. Cape Breton. This is Massey trying to cross over Capers. Gets harassed on the way to the rim. He's going to make the bucket. Looking around like he thought there might be a travel call just as much as London thought there might be a travel call, but no whistle. Bolden inside. Can't get the tough bucket to go. This is Massey again the other way. Redpath to the rim. Tries to go up and under, no good. And that's going to be tipped out by Phillips. Cape Breton ball. 8-7 to go, or 8-7 for London, 7:33 to go.
Cape Breton coming back from some early struggles here, slowed the pace down, starting to run their offense. We've seen Massey really create two impressive plays, and Famatimi with the three. That's what they're going to be doing. Haven't seen them to the line yet, and that's a testament to London's defense so far. Very, very early.
This is Famatimi. He's going to back out. That's a size mismatch on Moon, but he's going to pass it away. Phillips forces the turnover, and they're going to call a foul on Famatimi there.
We unfortunately don't have live stats with us, but I can only imagine the turnover number right now very early for Cape Breton.
Well, I mean, you had 3 in the first minute 20.
I'm not seeing any gray hairs on the coach's head yet, but would not be surprised as the game goes on.
If there's turnovers like that. Mo Bolden tries to ditch Famatimi and gets the tough shot to go. An excellent bucket from the London vet.
Impressive play, using his height, keeping the ball high, not allowing the defender to reach up and get it, or potentially getting fouled. Great aggressive play by Bolden.
Cape Breton looking for an answer. Almost turned over. Phillips almost goes into the crowd. They're going to call a foul on him.
See, that was another play. Clearly, Marvin Phillips has a very definite strategy for guarding Glover in the post. Trying to front him, trying to get around him. Caused a turnover already. He's also been great at making sure Glover's receiving it in the post further out from the block. Not able to start his move from as close as he'd like to.
Well, Glover, one of the strongest guys in NBL, his shoulders are wide enough to have their own area code. George Williams takes the jumper, and it's good. And that's going to tie the game 10-10. Back the other way. Here's London, Xavier Moon. Guarded by Redpath. Takes the jumper, and that's going to go in.
I think that's a part of Xavier Moon's game where if he can just knock down that jumper at a consistent clip, and maybe even take a step back from three, really dangerous and could really evolve.
He's one of those guys who doesn't need to score, but he can score. London has a lot of those guys. Jalen Bab Harrison's going to recover off the miss. Kirk Williams Jr. and A.J. Gaines getting ready to come into the game. Tough jumper for Moon, a bit of a heat check. That's not going to go. Oh. He ditches Phillips and gets the dunk. A huge play for Cape Breton.
Incredible crossover. Just ditching the London defender. And that's where, if you're a coach, you want to see some help defense there from you, but you don't necessarily expect your guy to get beat that way.
Marvin Phillips wide open from three-point lane, drills it. Huge play, Marvin Phillips, 5:30 to go.
I think the scouting report would say Marvin Phillips can make his open threes, Chris.
Yeah, Marvin Phillips able to score in a variety of ways. You can't really leave him open from anywhere, least of all from three-point lane. Cape Breton working it down low. Phillips fronts him again.
Incredible defense. Glover not liking it.
Moon, corner three, Bab Harrison. JBH with the three.
Really, Marvin Phillips has a definite strategy here. Really frustrating Glover. Wasn't able to get back. And Bab Harrison continuing with the shooting. And if he can make a few of those, watch out.
Moon able to strip the ball away. London gets it down the court. Bolden. He's going to ditch it to Capers for the slam. Now another turnover for Cape Breton.
Sorry, Chris. I just wanted to say that there were 3 Lightning out on the break ahead of any Cape Breton defender in transition. London just has a mindset now to get out on the break. Again, very reminiscent of the London Lightning of last year.
So we're going to have a media timeout here. The London Lightning up 20-12 with 4:20 to go in the first quarter. Just some sloppy play from the Cape Breton Highlanders, really leading to London's lead here. They've been able to take advantage quite easily. So the Cape Breton Highlanders, a couple miscues. Do you think that could be fatigue setting in?
I was just about to say, Chris, a lot of times that could be a combination, but you have to think fatigue isn't helping anything. Obviously a hard-fought contest. We know that Windsor side. We know what a battle that can be. You know, the travel, the physical toll of a game like that. But if you're a coach, you've got professional basketball players out here. You have to be used to travel like that. You have to make the smart plays. And a lot of times, I would imagine if you're in that Cape Breton huddle, you're looking at simplify the game. The reason this is only 20-12 at this moment is because Cape Breton has on occasion simplified the game, made the smart pass, not trying to force anything in the post. Obviously, you got a really dynamic player in Glover. We haven't been able to see it yet because of a great defense by Phillips, but you can tell Cape Breton really pushing to get him involved in the game early. Be patient. Let the offense come.
And of course, that game against Windsor winning 108-104. Guys like Massey and Redpath both playing over 40 minutes in that one. We saw one of them, not so much Redpath's fault, but he did have the slip that led to the turnover. So again, fatigue potentially a factor for the Highlanders, and London has taken full advantage in the early going. What have you seen from London so far that's working for them, aside from obviously points off of turnovers? What are they doing offensively that's working?
Offensively, points off of turnovers, yes, Chris, but also the aspect of they've been top-notch at just pushing the pace. Moon has been good for that. Their offense, even in the half court, hasn't been slow. It's been movement. You haven't had guys standing around looking. And obviously transition can ignite some of that energy, but they've done a good job maintaining it well in the half court, everybody moving, because it's easy to get stagnant. So they've kept the ball moving, the ball giving energy, and it's been really impressive early on. And I think a guy like Capers has been a big part of why that's happened, Chris.
He certainly has, and he's still on the floor there. 20-12 for the London Lightning, 4:09 to go in the first. This is Massey. Tough shot, able to drain it. Bruce Massey for 3. Huge bucket for Cape Breton coming out of that media timeout.
If you're the coach, though, you're not looking at that as a steady plan to win the game.
No, that's not exactly the play I think they had drawn up, but Massey makes something out of nothing. And there's a turnover from London now. Oh, pardon me, they're going to say that tipped off of a Highlander. So Capers to inbound here for London, 20-15, 3:46 to go. Gaines and Kirk Williams Jr. both in the game. Mo Bolden comes up short there. Back the other way are the Cape Breton Highlanders. Tough shot there. That's not going to go. And back the other way. Capers up high. Kirk Williams Jr. gets it stripped. Had to bring it back down. Three-pointer from Moon. No good. And that's going to go off of Mo Bolden. Cape Breton taking the ball the other way now.
But if you're a coach, obviously you'd love to have seen Moon bury that, or you would have liked to see Williams maybe execute that a little bit better on the lob. But again, energy. Mo Bolden. It was a timeout or out of bounds, but a great play by Bolden showing energy.
Now some of the guys who've checked in for Cape Breton after that last timeout. You got Tanner Giddings, number 32. You're also going to have Justin Taylor and Jamal Reynolds step into the game for Cape Breton. So quite a few changes here as Marvell Waith now and Alex Superman Johnson going to check in for London.
Again, now you can start to see Coach Fitz Gonzalez over on the Cape Breton sidelines. Definitely not happy with that turnover specifically, but you got to think that's just been building throughout the game, Chris.
A lot of turnovers for Cape Breton in the early going. Here's the London Lightning. Gaines. One-on-one with Giddings. Cuts around him. Blocked well by the Cape Breton Highlanders. Johnson gets it stripped away. That was Chris Johnson who was able to get his hand in there. Johnson, another one of these guys on Cape Breton with NBL experience playing with Niagara and the Island Storm.
Another one of these big tough guards, Chris.
Kirk Williams Jr. kicks it outside, gains the three, no good. Not much time on the shot clock, had to take it. Back the other way, here's Cape Breton. Taylor cuts inside. Unable to finish the layup. Cape Breton recovers though, and another miss. Do they get a third chance? Yes, they do, no good, but there's gonna be a foul on the play. Cape Breton's going to the free throw line. London still have not put points up since that media timeout.
That seems like the Cape Breton Highlanders that you expect to see. Aggressive on the glass, 3 opportunities, and then getting to the line. That's been their strategy for success this year.
Cape Breton's really been one of those teams that they've done a lot of their work just by doing the dirty work and getting themselves those extra opportunities that other teams might not be fighting for. So Cape Breton kind of showing more of what we were expecting to see from them in this one.
Yeah, no, really going back to their DNA, Chris.
Both free throws good. 20-17, 2:32 to go here in the first quarter. Alex Johnson sizing up the defense, works it around. Williams Jr. crosses over, cuts inside. No good. We're going to have a charging call, so that's going to be back the other way. Cape Breton's going to get the ball here. That was Bruce Massey, I believe, that took the charge.
Intelligent play, and also the defender leading him towards the help and creating the charge. Great play on defense by Cape Breton.
Johnson works around. Tries to ditch Kirk Williams Jr. Williams steals it. Back the other way. Alex Johnson for 2 points. Good. London with their first points of that media timeout. 22-17, 5-point game.
Off a turnover, Chris.
Of course. The points off turnover number is going to be just astronomical for London so far in the first quarter here. This is Reynolds cutting in. No good. Back the other way. Williams Jr., that is going to get fouled on his way to the line.
AJ Gaines was out in front, Chris.
That would have been 2 points. That would have been 2 points and a highlight reel slam, so maybe that foul, not the worst thing that could have happened there. This crowd would have been on their feet if AJ Gaines gets that wide open dunk. We're going to have Josiah Moore check into the game for London. Here's Johnson. Whoa, Kirk Williams Jr. just gets tossed inside.
Battling for position, trying to front, obviously in a mismatch with Kirk Williams. It looked like a switch occurred. Kirk Williams doing the veteran play, trying to get himself right underneath the hoop. Hopefully get an easy bucket. Tough foul, though.
Gaines, open jumper, no good. Cape Breton recovers, back the other way. This is Bruce Massey. Working on Marvell Waith, bit of a speed mismatch, cuts inside, great pass to Giddings, but he's going to get fouled on the way to the rim.
Very nice feed, saw the big man cutting in. Giddings really almost able to finish it, nice hands to get that pass. This is something that if you're a Cape Breton fan, though, you want to see more of, getting to the line. It's been critical, like we said, very much their DNA to be here.
Just like that, slowing the pace down, getting some rebounds, drawing some fouls, just like that. Cape Breton now only down 4. Potential to make it 3 here with a made free throw.
Massey in the half court really made some tough threes, excuse me. And in the half court, really able to control the pace and keep them in this, Chris.
22-19, Alex Johnson sizes up the defense. Works it around, Waith around the Kirk Williams screen. Back to Williams Jr. He's good. Big three-pointer for the Lightning to keep this gap.
He's able to attack Giddens on the switch, and Giddens doesn't want to be out there with the perimeter guys, that's for sure.
Tough shot. That's going to be very difficult. No good. But a turnover, and now London's going to give him the ball right back. A couple of offensive rebounds gone wrong for London. Defensive, that is, pardon me. Bruce Massey to inbound. Ooh. Kirk Williams Jr. gets steamrolled. That's going to be London ball.
Chris Johnson was looking to, was trying to zigzag past Kirk Williams, get himself open for an easy bucket on the inbound.
Wanted to zigzag, but he went on a straight line instead.
Unfortunately, Williams anticipated it. Veteran play by Williams Jr.
Alex Johnson looking to create some space. Waith, hand in his face, no good. That's going to be Cape Breton ball back the other way. They're going to say that was out on Moore. 41 seconds to play here in Budweiser Gardens. 25-19 for the London Lightning over the visiting Cape Breton Highlanders. Highlanders struggled early. They had 3 turnovers in the first minute and 20. However, they've battled back here, kept the score low as Massey, beautiful spin move, kicks it outside. That's Taylor, loses the handle. Again, outside, Chris Johnson, the 3, no good. Scramble play, and that's going to, I'm not sure who touched that, but that ended up in the rim for Cape Breton. 25-21, 18 seconds to play. London bleeding some clock as Alex Johnson sets up for what would likely be the last shot of the quarter. One-on-one with Giddings, and they're not going to get any shot off. That's not going to go at all. So after one, you've got a score of 25-21 for the London Lightning over the Cape Breton Highlanders.
Yeah, you can't be happy with that closing play by the London Lightning if you're Coach Etherington. You got to get a shot off.
I was going to say the closing play seemed to be just dribbling the clock out.
Yeah, there was no real structure to that. Definitely something that's going to be in the film room, I would imagine, tomorrow, Chris, for the London Lightning. Early on, though, we're looking at a game that's only a 4-point game, and I think rightfully so we've been complimenting how London's been playing. But it's not like Cape Breton is not in this game. We saw little glimpses, Chris, little glimpses of the team that has been successful this year for Cape Breton. The one bucket that I don't know who put that in. We're interested to see who got credit for that one. But that sort of stuff, getting to the line, again, it's their DNA. They slowed it down, and that's how you slow down a team, when, especially if you're giving turnovers, so you're giving that energy and London the incentive to run. It's those offensive possessions where you're able to grind them down, get the dirty buckets that kind of just mucks the game up.
And you think about who London played in their last game, the Sudbury 5. We expected that to be a high-flying, high-scoring game. Ended up being a slugfest between the two teams. You almost think that was the perfect primer for London to play against Cape Breton, because we saw Cape Breton kind of struggle early. I feel like now they've sort of settled into a groove that allowed them to come back here. For London, do you want to keep kind of playing their game and matching them at it, or do you want to start to make some runs of your own? Do you want to start to open up the game a bit here in the second?
I don't think you want to force anything. I think London's been at a solid pace for themselves. Again, forcing turnovers with discipline. You know, we saw little flashes of Cape Breton kind of being aggressive, getting to the rim, but if you're London, you can't really, you've done everything you're supposed to. You're not letting them get to the line. You're giving them time, you're forcing turnovers. You're getting it out in transition, getting easy buckets. That's usually a recipe for success. So if you're the coach, you're not necessarily looking at changing anything. Maybe, you know, little tweaks in the half court, but overall, if you're Coach Etherington, you can't really be too disappointed with how your team has played. Again, though, Cape Breton, solid. And they're still in this game. If you're a coach, if you're the coach for Cape Breton, you're telling your team, we still got a shot.
After a tough game against Windsor, kind of the start you didn't want, but they ended up recovering nicely. 25-21 as we begin the second quarter here. This is Chris Johnson for the Highlanders. Wide open inside. Giddings with the slam. 25-23, just like that. 2 points right off the bat for the Highlanders.
Great weak side back screen. London not communicating on defense, and great play by Giddens finishing that.
Lob there to Gaines. Crowd kind of holding their breath every time Gaines gets in the air. Williams Jr. unable to convert. Gaines recovers. Alex Johnson resets the offense. One-on-one with Reynolds. Makes the shot.
Whoa.
Huge shot there from Alex Superman Johnson.
A little step back, Chris.
A little beautiful step back from Alex Johnson. Around the back, this is Reynolds to the rim
Whoa,
and in.
wow.
A huge answer from Cape Breton.
What a skilled play. The speed, change of direction, behind the back dribble. Again, we've seen some of these plays from Cape Breton early on in this game. Massey has been able to do it. Reynolds taken his cue to do it, and that's why they're in this game, Chris. They've showed those glimpses of aggressiveness that have kind of allowed them to keep around with London.
Reynolds, one of the front runners for both Sixth Man of the Year and Canadian of the Year, really been a revelation off the bench for Cape Breton. Back the other way, here's London. Kirk Williams Jr. Over to Josiah Moore. Can't make anything happen. Waith tries to cut in. London working the ball around but not finding many openings. Stripped away by Massey. Williams Jr. recovers, drives in. Not much time. Can't get it to go. Back the other way, the Highlanders. This is Taylor. He's just going to lay it in.
Aggressive take by Taylor. He was either that was going
in or
contact. It was a foul.
He was ready for contact there.
Yeah.
And I don't think that contact came the way he expected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still adjusted well to make the shot. Here's Moore. Over to Waith. Waith thinks about it, takes it. No good. And that's going to go out of bounds off of the rim. Cape Breton has a chance to take their first lead.
London, you're seeing a lot of ball movement really without purpose, really without creating any chaos.
I don't know if it's
Cape
without
Breton
purpose.
end.
I just think Cape Breton's been closing it off.
That's fair, too.
Chris Johnson working around Massey to the corner to Johnson again. He's going to pull it back out. Tries to cross over Williams Jr. Turns the corner on him. Lays it in. A tough shot from Bruce Massey.
Also going lefty mid-air to get that in. Kids, if you're watching, got to use both hands. Impressive play.
Massey, you'll recall, in the one game Cape Breton came to Budweiser Gardens for last year, had a huge performance against the Lightning. Looking like he's off to his old tricks here. Williams Jr. working on Taylor. The soft finish from Kirk Williams Jr. keeps London in the driver's seat here. 30-29, 9:29 to go in the second quarter.
You're looking at some of the matchups here. Williams definitely with a size advantage. Wonder if he'll take advantage throughout the game.
I believe they're going to call the foul on Moore there. Stripped it away and then battled a bit with Jamal Reynolds for the ball. Chris Johnson inbound here for the Highlanders. Xavier Moon takes the seat as Jalen Babb Harrison checks back into the game. Giddings, the jumper, makes it.
Big man showing some range
Stretching
there.
the floor a bit for Cape Breton. London back the other way. This is Alex Johnson setting up the offense. Defended by Taylor. Again, no openings for London on this defense. Cape Breton tough. Marvin Phillips makes the jumper. Can't defend that. Great shot from Marvin Phillips.
Listen, though, Chris, I mentioned earlier that Cape Breton doesn't really want a steady diet of those tough jumpers with hands in the face. Same goes for London. That was a tough thing. You don't want to count on that from Marvin Phillips the whole time.
Scramble play here is Cape Breton trying to recover Massey out to Giddings. They're going to call the blocking foul there on Marvin Phillips. Cape Breton will maintain possession.
Gonna say it wasn't a shot, Chris, so just out of bounds.
should add in that first quarter, as there's a huge three from Johnson. We've got the stats here again, no live stats. We're trying to update you as much as possible. 9 turnovers for Cape Breton in the first quarter. 9. That would be a bad game for some.
They're up 1, Chris.
Incredibly so. JBH takes the 3, no good. London recovers though. Phillips again fighting for these rebounds. Johnson takes the 3 now. Lots of time to set up, but couldn't make it. Probably just a touch out of range there. Reynolds kicks it outside. Chris Johnson fakes, goes in. No dice as London trying to recover. Giddings just uses his height there as Chris Johnson has a wide open 3, and good.
Good timeout here if you're Coach Etherington. Clearly Cape Breton finding their swagger again. As you mentioned, as much as I would maybe lean towards London not moving the ball with an aggressive purpose, passing it around, also you got to give some credit. Cape Breton clearly sticking to some stuff here, kind of refocusing after getting punched in the mouth early. Offensively, I mean, Giddings really going from stretching the floor to getting the offensive rebounds. And one of the best plays that you can have on an offensive rebound is kicking it out. One of the best shots you can have is the three-pointer right off an offensive rebound, making it.
And you know, part of the reason Johnson opened up so much is the defense had to shift to the right side, obviously at the far side for our camera. The defense had to shift to the far side when Giddings stepped out a bit. That left the opening for Johnson on the near side to get open because that defense had further to travel to cover Johnson.
Well, when you've got a big man like Giddings, you know, every guy on the perimeter is probably getting the note from the coach, help your big men in the lane with rebounding. And then when a guy like Giddings is able to kind of out-muscle and have the entire defense collapse in, finds a shooter, great ball movement, and here we are with Cape Breton Highland, 9 turnovers, 36. This defies almost all basketball logic, but really they've done a lot of the other things right, playing a gritty, kind of ugly game so far.
So just so we can kind of summarize, in that first quarter, the Cape Breton Highlanders played sloppy, undisciplined, and are up 4 now.
But you know what? You could also say, Chris, that that's very much their type of game. They get to the line.
They like a messy
They
game.
like a messy game, taking advantage of. They were born in the mud, Chris. They're not just merely inhabiting it. They were born in the mud, and they're really slowing down London, who early on looked like they were just on fire, really like a race car. Has hit a little dirty patch, Chris.
Yes, the race car a little off the tracks there, burning some tires. Alex Johnson for the Lightning, looking to get things back on track. Stolen. Massey back the other way. And he's going to get fouled and won. Just about the worst start you can imagine out of a timeout.
So you could tell Massey, in a weird way, got lucky in the sense that he was getting his steps.
Cheated.
He was gathering his steps to go up with that for a little showtime at the rim. And Alex Johnson, unfortunately, you know, we've talked about this before. We never want to see anything bad, but you don't want your guy to score if you're going to foul him. And just a bad combination of plays after the turnover, Chris.
So a 3-point play after London got the ball at a timeout. Just unfortunately, those 3 points went the other way. Pardon me, the free throw missed. I apologize there. 2 points. Marvin Phillips trying to lay it in. No luck as Giddings recovers. Massey takes the 3. Tough shot. Makes it.
Massey is feeling it, Chris.
Again, this is a guy who, when he's hot, one of the most dangerous scorers in NBL Canada. He's showing that here tonight. He is pumped. Alex Johnson, answer 3-pointer. He's barking right back. He's jawing right back at Massey.
See, Massey was doing the whole, this is my house, this is my house. Alex Johnson saying, no, I'll make a 3. I'll keep you a little quiet here.
Chris Johnson working on Jalen Bab Harrison. 3 from Johnson, no good. A little bit forced. Gaines back the other way. Superman fakes the 3. Tough bucket, can't get it to go. Back the other way is Cape Breton. Reynolds in flight. He's going to get fouled by Gaines. Just throws it up. That'll be a shooting foul. Pardon me, I believe they'll say that's on the floor.
I love that, though, Chris. I love, Massey really getting into it. We like kind of that, intensity, the competitive nature of the game. And Alex Superman Johnson saying,
This isn't your house.
This isn't your house. Stop that. I'm going to bury this 3.
This is exactly what he said word for word, too. We heard him.
Yes.
This is exactly what he said word for word. Cape Breton to inbound here. Redpath into the game for Cape Breton. He's working on Jalen Bab Harrison. Turns the corner, feeds it to Giddings, who makes the bucket. Very effective game from Taylor Giddings.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a number of times, actually. I've been watching him first man down the floor. When your big man is doing that, creating opportunities, and Redpath also being aware as he drove the lane, not force anything with a great little dish.
Capers look to feed Phillips inside, no luck. Jalen Bab Harrison cuts in, floater good.
Beautiful little play, kind of stuttered. You know, you talk about guys when they maybe not knowing how to change gears. Babs Harrison doing a great job there changing gears and really opening up an opportunity for the floater.
That bucket makes it 43-37, 5:49 to play. 11 on the shot clock here, Cape Breton. Not much time to get the shot off. Massey still seems in no rush. Wide open, Jamal Reynolds takes the three and good. Another huge bucket for Cape Breton as they continue to pull ahead.
You like that from Massey. Obviously, he's been feeling it, but not getting the blinders on, looking, finding his teammates. Reynolds making the three.
Again, defenders cheating to the hot hand. Massey left Reynolds wide open. Another turnover. This is Cape Breton back the other way. They're going to slow things down just a bit. Massey, quick pull-up three, no good.
Ooh,
Phillips recovers. That was a bit of a that
was a heat check.
That was an absolute heat check there. Capers now setting up for London. Mo Bolden over to Capers, takes the three, no good, no foul either. And that's going to be Cape Breton ball.
I love Capers' game, not necessarily his main tool there with a three-pointer, not necessarily in rhythm on that play.
You know, Capers just talking with the ref now, saying that the foot kicked out.
Massey and the London Lightning bench, a little chirping. Again, we want good intensity. We don't want it going overboard. Good to see a little spark to the game, Chris.
Again, the best way to stop a chirper is to stop the player himself.
Win the game.
Ultimate way to shut someone up, really.
Win the game.
46-37 as we have a media timeout here. Cape Breton pulling ahead in this second quarter after what could have been a disastrous start, recovering incredibly well. To lead the London Lightning. Again, this is a Cape Breton team that played a very hard-fought game just last night. A London team that's on 5 days rest.
You know, it looked like London there here so far in the second quarter. I guess the turnover flu is a little contagious, catching it themselves a little bit, maybe not being strong with the ball, you know, not coming to the ball, a little bit loose with it, and Cape Breton taking advantage. Also, Cape Breton attacking the lane, and that doesn't always, a lot of the times because of that style, that's why they get all the free throws. A lot of the ugly buckets, but also getting to the lane is how you get to the line, right, Chris? They've done that now, getting to the rim, and maybe they haven't seen the foul calls yet, but you show that aggressiveness. The whistle usually favors the aggressive team. And they've really flipped it on its head. London coming out with a lot of energy early, looking like the aggressive team. And here we are now, Cape Breton really turning this game on its head.
Massey, Reynolds, Johnson, Giddings, and Redpath for Cape Breton. Bab Harrison, Phillips, Moon, Bolden, and Capers for London. Inside, Giddings wide open for the slam. Another great play right out of a timeout for the Cape Breton Highlanders.
Fitz Gonzalez with just an incredible after timeout play, getting Giddings on the roll.
Capers
really
cuts inside. And they're going to call a foul on Giddings there. Capers going to the line for two. You know, we mentioned that first quarter, not only were there the turnovers, but quite a few fouls by Cape Breton. London now the team committing fouls. That's only the first foul by Cape Breton in this entire second quarter.
Again, discipline on defense. We said London would need it, but it's also something that if you're Cape Breton, you're going to be looking to do. That's what you want as your coach, defensive, getting up into guys, but also showing the discipline not to start reaching.
Now, fouls were a storyline in London's last game as Logan Stutz of the Sudbury Five making some comments about the refereeing in that game, how they didn't feel there were enough calls. So far, it's been London getting called the most. Cape Breton here with the ball. Massey cutting around Xavier Moon. Tough shot. Can't get that to go, but Giddings recovers. Redpath the deep three, able to drain it. The Highlanders just really in a groove right now, offensively and defensively.
That was what I was talking about earlier too, Chris. One of the most high percentage three-pointers you can get is off a kick out from an offensive rebound.
Turnover from London, another one. Bruce Massey back the other way. Inside
wow.
to Reynolds, what a pass, what a finish. The Highlanders continue to pile up the points in the late parts of this second quarter.
Massey letting everybody in the arena know, but doing everything. We've seen the great scoring ability, but also the playmaking. Reynolds with a great cut, Massey finding him.
Tough shot here from Jalen Babb Harrison. JBH, another three-pointer. He seems to be that guy that gets it going for London when they struggle to score.
Listen, you don't want to say we're in the second quarter, but that was a very needed three-pointer by the London Lightning.
Keeps London within at least striking distance here. No pun intended. Reynolds,
wow.
Touch pass to Redpath. No foul, but Cape Breton recovers. Reynolds finishes. Another 2 points for the Highlanders.
Giddings just, and again, a guy with his size, clearly there's a size mismatch, taking full advantage, London having to collapse.
I believe this is for a cut on Kirk Williams Jr. here, as Marvell Waith is going to come into the game.
Just to finish that point too, Chris, we were talking a little earlier with Giddings, just it forces the entire defense to collapse, and it's really opening opportunities for Cape Breton.
London looking for an opportunity of their own. Here's Moon, can't get the jumper to go. Scramble play, Capers recovers. Capers versus the Capers as Jalen Babb Harrison works it outside. Babb Harrison cuts in, tries to finish, and gets it. Another huge play from JBH, 55-42. London not letting that lead get past 13. Capers tips it out. Cape Breton's going to maintain possession here.
London there going back to what really got them off to such a great start, showing some full court pressure. Obviously, it's tough to do in a professional game for a full game, but going back to it for a little stretch there.
Chris Johnson's going to set up the offense here for Cape Breton, working on Jalen Babb Harrison. Screen by Giddings, rolled, no luck. Redpath turns the corner on Bolden. Almost loses the handle, wide open. Johnson pump fake jumper and makes it and one. That's going to be a foul on Bolden there. London really not happy with the call, but Johnson able to finish with no landing zone.
Incredible job, Chris, about attacking the closeout. Mo Bolden maybe not coming, or I believe it was either Waite or Bolden, I'm not entirely sure, came out attacking the three-point line. Obviously, Cape Breton starting to make some of their threes, really forcing London to do that. Incredible job, professional attack of the closeout. Pump fake, steps in, takes that jumper, able to bury it well, getting knocked down. Really impressive play.
Reynolds and, Jess Massey's going to take a seat on the bench. A little confusion, it seems. I don't know if Cape Breton realized they have the ball. George Williams to inbound here. He's also into the game. Johnson covered by Babb Harrison. Pulls up. Makes the three. I think he tried to draw the call again. Won't get it this time. But that's a huge shot there for Cape Breton, 60-42, as this lead keeps opening up.
Johnson yelling out too, Chris. Cape Breton clearly has a bit of swagger right now.
Waith can't make the jumper. London can't collect either. Multiple chances. Here's Moon now. He's able to recover. Moon cutting inside. Tough shot. Can't get that to go, but he'll go to the line for two. London needs these free throws. Olu Famatimi into the game for Cape Breton. Chris Johnson going to take a seat.
I feel like this is one of the quickest changes of momentum we've ever seen. Just from 0 to, or 100 to 0 to negative 100 if you're the London Lightning. And again, that's not necessarily all on the London Lightning. We got to give plenty of credit to the Cape Breton Highlanders not letting themselves get discouraged by such a rough early start, zoning in. Perhaps they just had to be reminded that they were playing on a back-to-back and that the game was tonight. But they're right back in and really playing Impressive basketball here, Chris.
Moon.
60.
Moon goes 1 for 2 as the Highlanders already at 60 points in a half. A great offensive effort from a team we thought would be more of a slow it down, slug it out style. Famatimi assessing his options, covered tightly by Bab Harrison, turns the corner, push off right there.
Yeah.
That's going to be an offensive foul.
Yeah, that was
Full arm extension and everything.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to hide that one.
yeah. You see vets oftentimes get away with it. That maybe not the subtlest version of that play, and FAMTV getting called for the foul.
Anytime your arm goes from inside your body to all the way extended, there's a very good chance the ref's going to call a push-off
When you're about
there.
to do the Heisman.
Yeah, when you're like maybe a 1 foot off the ground away from the Heisman pose, probably a push-off. Bab Harrison, deep three, no good. Cape Breton collects. Tightly defended by Waith. They're going to call a foul on him. Lightning over the limit with that one. That's going to send the Highlanders to the free throw line.
Chris talked about discipline. Clearly, here we are, 7-3 in the foul category at this moment. Again, what a reversal. Cape Breton doing everything they've needed to do.
Cape Breton in 1:20 of basketball to start that first quarter had 2 fouls. The entire second quarter up till now, only 3.
And again, that's what I was talking about. You know, whistles favor the aggressors. And at this point, you can't deny the more aggressive team has been Cape Breton, and it's not just the aggressors. They've played good basketball alongside it, but that's definitely helping with how the game is being called.
61-43, Highlanders up on the London Lightning. Marvell Waith cuts inside. He's going to go under, but not in. Mo Bolden recovers the rebound, up and everything but in. It rolls in. The gentle finish there from Mo Bolden.
They're getting nothing easy, Chris. That the lid on the rim just decided to pop off for a quick second there at the very end.
Famatimi working on Xavier Moon. Over to Giddings. Quick pass to Williams. I don't think it was as open as Giddings thought he was. Trying to ditch Waith. A bit of a speed mismatch here. Quick pull up from Williams. No good. That's Bab Harrison on the collection. 29 seconds to go. London back the other way. This is Bolden looking for options. Almost loses it, but Capers recovers, backing down Redpath. Cuts inside. Tipped there by Cape Breton. 11 on the shot clock. Still time for London to get something out here. Capers just guts it into the rim. That's going to be a foul on the Cape Breton Highlanders.
Redpath looking for a little bit of the
chicken
push
wing.
off, a little bit of that chicken wing by Capers, as Capers takes a second to collect himself. I mean, clearly nothing coming easy for the London Lightning, especially on the offensive end. We made the sports car analogy. The sports car is definitely not on the main track right now, and definitely not at top speed.
So Capers is going to make a free throw here, and for London, just got to be happy with points of any kind right now.
Absolutely. And, you know, getting to the line, that's the type of thing where, you know, you make those buckets. Maybe it sparks your shooting. You get more of a rhythm. But at this point, anything will help. Even though, Chris, London's starting to bite into that lead just a little bit.
10 seconds here. Cape Breton looking for a final bucket. This is Cape Breton's microwave, Jamal Reynolds. Trying to cross over Bolden, no luck. Williams going to have a couple too many steps there. Not much time. London has a chance to get the final shot of the quarter. 1.2 on the clock.
Yeah, they're going to say he just moved that pivot foot just a little too quickly, Chris.
The happy feet catching up to him there. Got to have a quick inbound play here. Bolden to Capers. Dribbles, shoots, no good. Close for Capers, though. That'll make a 61-47 point lead for the Cape Breton Highlanders heading into halftime. Tom, what did you see in that half that really helped Cape Breton put themselves over the edge?
I mean, we're looking at Cape Breton attacking the lane, driving the lane. Oh wow, Chris, we've got a incident here.
Olu Famatimi and Marvell Waith. I'm not sure.
I don't know if it's Famatimi. It might be Massey.
Marvell Waith, and I believe that's Bruce Massey. Etherington holding back Waith. Players climbing over chairs here. Uh-oh. Someone's got to hold on to Waith, and someone's got to hold on to Massey because they're trying to meet out either in the tunnel or behind the club seats there. So we'll see how that plays out if we come out of the halftime without a hitch.
Listen, Chris, I was getting into the aggressiveness and getting into the lane for Cape Breton and how they really developed some swagger and energy. We heard some yelling. Clearly the intensity of this game's picked up. Let's see if it continues on in the second half.
So with that, an eventful end to this first half there between the London Lightning and the Cape Breton Highlanders. Cape Breton up 61-47. We'll be back with your second half. back for the second half of this clash between the Cape Breton Highlanders and the London Lightning. Cape Breton coming out to a hot end to that second quarter, 61-47. Again, struggled early, 3 turnovers and 2 fouls in the first minute and 20 of basketball, 9 turnovers in that entire first quarter, but really collected themselves and recovered well. What does London now have to do to get themselves back into this game, Tom?
They got to remember what got them that very early lead and what really led to them having the lead in the first quarter, Chris. Forcing turnovers, attacking passing lanes, well staying disciplined, igniting some fast break offense. Those are the keys moving forward, and London's got to refine that, not allow themselves to get into a stagnated half-court offense.
Leading scorers coming out of that first half, Bruce Massey, 14 points for the Cape Breton Highlanders. You also have 12 points coming from Jamal Reynolds, so the 2 guards playing huge roles for Cape Breton in that first half. Massey also added 5 assists to go along with those 14 points, so on pace for a double-double as we speak. Looking at the London Lightning, leading scorer for London is going to be Marcus Capers there. Pardon me, Jalen Bab Harrison with 10 points. So fouls were assessed to both Massey and Waith at the end of that second quarter, with both players jawing at each other before heading to their locker rooms. So we're off with the second half of this game. Xavier Moon setting up for the Lightning. Bolden inside. Kicks it out. Phillips open for 3. Doesn't take the shot though. Moon. Top of the key jumper, and it's good. London on the board to start the second half.
When Xavier Moon can step into his jumper like that, Chris, really an effective point guard. Obviously, he has the ability to get to the lane, but that just adds an extra dimension.
This is Bruce Massey, the hot hand from that first half. Makes a jumper. The hand's still hot. Someone also yelled Kobe while he shot that, which is pretty amazing. Here's Xavier Moon now for London, 63-49 for Cape Breton. Capers working inside, covered by Redpath. Lightning working around the perimeter, back down low to Phillips. Kicks it up to Moon, open for 3, good! Xavier Moon, a huge 3-pointer, and that's 5 points right off the bat for Moon to get London back into the game, only an 11-point difference now. Cape Breton, this is George Williams. Quick jumper, no good. London back the other way. Again, trying to close a lead that Cape Breton was able to open up in the late parts of that second quarter. And that's going to be a kick ball there on Massey.
You see there, Chris, that's why I have such an interest in Xavier Moon's jump shot, because he was able to then push the pace, force a kick ball, but
Bab Harrison, no good. Phillips recovers. Huge rebound, just a man's bucket there for Marvin Phillips.
Not only does him making that jumper help there.
Oh, Bab Harrison almost with the pick. Back the other way is Cape Breton, Redpath. Decides to slow it down. Williams back outside. Over to Famatimi. Redpath, they want to go down low to Giddings, but Phillips is forcing them not to. Redpath working around, almost loses the dribble. Swatted by Marvin Phillips. Get that garbage out of here. A huge block from the London big.
Redpath kind of stumbling through the lane there. Almost looked like he was going to get a layup out of it. Marcus Capers having nothing to do with that. Again, his length, really important fact for this London Lightning, can be a spark plug, no pun intended.
Yeah, instead of a Euro step, it was a Euro stumble there from Redpath. And up goes Massey and one. Bruce Massey still on fire, and again, making huge plays for the Cape Breton Highlanders.
Flexing. Getting his teammates going. I mean, one, you can tell he's feeling it after the Kobe comment. Gave a shout out to the fan, a little point, and here he is. I mean, you can tell he's the type of guy that once he gets on a roll, a bit of a microwave, and obviously, London, you're going to have to get hand in his face. You're going to try to have to deny him the ball, because clearly he has got it going on, Chris.
Bruce Massey, again, heated, had a great first half, and now, after the altercation at the end of that first half, on fire to start the second. Capers down low, backing down Massey. Almost loses the handle, no bucket. That's going to be a foul on Massey. That's only his first, though.
Massey with the lower body contact. You can tell there's certain guys, though, they thrive off of this sort of game. They thrive off of the competitive animosity. Massey clearly one of those guys.
Moon inside to Phillips. He's going to take the jumper over Giddings. Makes it. Marvin Phillips came to play too.
Done a little bit of everything. Really solid defensively early. Also made a few key jumpers going forward. They're going to be counting on him as we go through the second half, Chris.
He's been one of the more effective players for London over their past couple of games. Maybe we're going to see more of him in the second half. This is George Williams.
Mismatch, mouse in the house.
Big mismatch, mouse in the house. Famatimi backs down Moon. Can't get that to go, though. Moon does just enough as Bolden's back the other way for London. Bolden spins around Redpath, finishes and one. Maurice Bolden getting himself to the rim and to the line. London back within 10 of the Cape Breton Highlanders. Tom.
Speaking of mouse in the house, Mo Bolden using that 6'10" height. All a guy like Redpath can do is put his arms up, gets the foul. That's the type of Mo Bolden. We know he has a dynamic game and he can play a perimeter game, but that's the type of offense that you like to see with Mo Bolden, taking advantage of his perimeter skills to get to the lane where he can then use his height on smaller defenders.
Redpath and Famatimi to the bench. Chris Johnson, Jamal Reynolds back in the game for Cape Breton. Bolden converts on the three-point play. London now only down 7, pardon me, to the Cape Breton Highlanders. Sorry, guys, I failed grade 10 math. Cape Breton now working it back. George Williams.
No comment.
Williams cutting inside over Bolden. Tough shot, can't get that to go. Capers back the other way. He's got Moon up in front of him. Doesn't take the pass. Bab Harrison for 3. No good. Cape Breton now looking at their options the other way. Johnson. Deep pass to George Williams. Ooh, Massey recovers off of what could have been a terrible turnover. Massey working on Bab Harrison.
Oh, wow.
Inside, nice pass to Cutting Johnson, no good. Ref defers on what could have been a blocking or a charge. Capers slow to get up. Back the other way, Bolden to the rim and in. Mo Bolden asserting himself offensively.
Again, this is what you love to see if you're a fan of London Lightning. When Mo Bolden gets into attack mode, he has the agility to kind of get the mini Euro step in there too. Use his height. Impressive play. That's 2 from Mo Bolden that we've seen like that.
Moon caught inside again, but Cape Breton can't take advantage. Massey to the rim and in. Bruce Massey flexing again, too strong for the London Lightning as he's going to go and try to make a three-point play here for the Cape Breton Highlanders. 68-61, 7:54 to go here in the third.
We have seen Bruce Massey score in every which way, Chris. Broken plays, creating one-on-one with a little bit of shake, the jumpers, getting to the lane. Really showcasing the full arsenal. You talked about in the past that he's come in here and clearly likes the rims in this building, Chris.
I think London, maybe with an eye towards getting tougher inside, Kirk Williams Jr. into the game. He's not going to allow for any easy buckets inside.
No, absolutely not. Tall lineup, Chris, from London right now.
Very big lineup as Capers, Bolden, Phillips, and Williams all profile as forwards. Bolden over to Phillips. Inside to Williams Jr. Bolden for 3. Need this. Makes it.
And that's my big thing with Mo Bolden's game is that when he shows that attack mode getting to the rim, that's what really fuels his three-point shot. And he's shown he's a capable shooter, makes that one. And London back in this game, Chris.
Cold shooting night for Bolden in their last matchup. He's already doing better tonight. Tough shot here from Massey. No good. Maybe forcing it there. Reynolds recovers. Johnson outside, Williams, 3, good.
Oh, wow.
A huge answer bucket from Cape Breton. You know, London's been fighting back, but Cape Breton not giving them an inch.
This is just picked up too, Chris. You can really tell on the court.
Bolden, mouse in the house here against Massey. Step back jumper makes it.
Wow.
Mo Bolden now the hot hand for London.
And again, Chris, what started his offensive outburst here? Getting to the rim, and then he was able to take advantage with that 6'10" height just right over the top of Massey.
Did all the right things the entire game, and then when finally London needed someone to step up, he was the guy who had the basketball karma that would let him back in.
London finding a little bit here with the tall lineup.
Moon up the court for London. Again, a very large lineup in for London.
Another mismatch.
Kirk Williams to the floor. Moon takes the three. No good. Bolden right there for the... Oh! Almost a big slam. Can't convert. Williams Jr. looking to finish. No luck. Moon, another shot. No luck for London. 3 chances, no buckets. Cape Breton back the other way. This is Jamal Reynolds to the rim. No good, but they're going to call the foul on Marcus Capers. And they're going to tee up Elliot Etherington, the coach of the London Lightning there. Very unhappy with the refs on that call.
Either coach was getting attacked. Fitz-Gonzalez jumping with maybe a 40-inch vertical there, thinking his guy might not have got the call, and then Coach Etherington stepping up for his guys gets the tee.
Honestly, if Fitz-Gonzalez had come down from his landing, he might have got the tech before
exactly.
Etherington.
One coach was getting a tech, really didn't know who it was going to be.
Chris Johnson to take the technical free throw here. Converts it. Now we'll have 2 shots here for Jamal Reynolds.
You know, if you're Coach Etherington, you've liked how the intensity has picked up, not allowing your team to kind of maybe get into a lull on a free throw where everything might die down. Obviously, you never want to give up tech, but you hope to keep that energy up maybe by taking that tech.
Reynolds misses the first.
Also helps when they miss one.
You know, Capers has been holding the back of his leg. I'm not sure he's okay.
Yeah, in second quarter, it looked like he was down, came up really slowly. You know he's a warrior unless he can't walk. That guy is going to be playing.
Reynolds makes his second, 74-66. Highlanders trying to open up the lead they once had, but London not going anywhere. This is Xavier Moon. Inside to Bolden.
Another mismatch.
Jumper over Chris Johnson, no good, but he'll draw the foul. Bolden again to the line, really asserting himself on the offensive end.
And Chris, there is no one on Cape Breton who can straight up match with Mo Bolden. At that height, with that agility, those perimeter skills. And when he starts feeling it,
the only guy who covers him height-wise is Giddings, but I don't think he can work around the perimeter quite like Mo Bolden can.
No, not at all.
So again, we just had a technical there from the coach of the London Lightning, Elliot Etherington, that led to the Highlanders putting up 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Made the technical, made one of the 2 free throws for the foul that was in question, but didn't make the second one. Cape Breton up 74-66 over the London Lightning. Mo Bolden starting to take over for a bit. Tom, you've watched Mo Bolden over the years. What's really grown about his game over time?
His ability to create plays on the perimeter. His ability to shake defenders. He always had the length. He always had the agility. He ran like a deer down the floor. His ability to be impactful on offense beyond maybe putbacks and that. His ability to hit jumpers.
Sorry, we had a friend zone on the kids cam.
Really rough.
Oof.
No matter who loses this game tonight, Chris, London or Cape Breton, definitely not taking as big a loss as that fan.
74-66 again.
That's
recap
my detailed analysis.
The
for
detailed
you, Chris.
analysis. It all comes back to the kiss cam. 74-66 recap of the game so far. Cape Breton, a very rough start to the first quarter. Found themselves down by quite a bit to the Lightning in the early goings, but fought back. Ended up taking over about midway through the second quarter, and then have really pulled away since then.
I just want to add, too, I've been a big fan of Mo Bolden's game for a while, and I talked about the perimeter thing, but really he's really improved on the defensive end as well. His ability to be a rim protector, before it really hadn't developed. Again, it's why a league like this really is so enjoyable to watch. We see guys like Mo Bolden really excel, and there are a number of cases throughout the league that we can attest to. Adam Blazek, I think, is another case where he's evolved since his first few days in the NBL.
Blazek, a player of Division III Gannon, joining the Niagara River Lions, KW Titans, and now on the Sudbury 5, another case of a guy who really developed through NBL Canada. Bolden converts on the first, looking to get the second here.
Interested to see out of that timeout how Cape Breton's going to defend Mo Bolden. and what type of matchup they're going to go with there. He's had some. Oh, wow.
Turnover right off the bat. Capers recovers. He's going to get fouled, and London will take 2 more free throws. That's the kind of silly turnover Cape Breton had at the start of the game that let London take the commanding lead.
Oh, if you're Fitz Gonzalez, you got to be this again.
Don't we fix this?
Yeah, I thought we fixed this. Also, I'd love to know if there's a stat for baseline out of bound, like forced turnovers by Marcus Capers. A number in the past few games that we've watched. Very unique stat. I doubt it's out there, but quite interesting. We've seen a number of examples of his length and athleticism.
Capers a big-time opportunist. You can't really give him any sort of a assumption that he's not going to defend, because he will. Gains into the game for London. Williams will take the 3 for Cape Breton. No good. Massey with the rebound, backing down Moon. Gets Capers to jump, swatted by Mo Bolden. Get out of here. Mo Bolden back down the floor. Massey just going to knock it away, but they're going to say that was off of Bolden.
Massey, both ends being able to force the turnover. Well, what a block. That's what I was talking about with Mo Bolden, kind of that rim protection that he didn't really have early in his career here.
Again, Bolden basically a tall wing who's turned into a threat from every position on the floor.
Speaking of threat from everywhere on the floor,
Bruce Massey, one of the biggest threats in NBL Canada, finishes.
Oh, my goodness. I love when a player follows through for me when I foreshadow like that. Massey, just incredible. Going through contact, getting the bucket. You know, when you think of like hitting the weight room and the strength in basketball, it doesn't always come across. But a lot of times one of the most underrated thing, and a guy like DeMar DeRozan in the NBA is an example of this. When you build that upper body, you're able to take the contact and still finish. Massey, a perfect example of that on that play.
He'll make good on the three-point play. 77-69 for the Cape Breton Highlanders. Capers calling the play, takes the ball up the floor. Again, it's a different lineup, but still a bigger one from London with Gaines in the game. Another guy who profiles as a front court player. Moon over to Bolden. Moon has space, takes the jumper, no good. Cape Breton recovers, Giddings with the rebound. This is Massey down the court. Over to Williams. He's going to get fouled going to the rim. And a couple hundred refs here in Budweiser Gardens not thrilled with that call. Pretty good turnout here at Budweiser Gardens. For those unfamiliar, most of the season tickets holders actually sit on the same side as the camera. Can look a little sparse on the far side, but very good turnout from our season ticket holders.
Oh, we definitely have some of the ye old faithful. I definitely see Bill Evans down there supporting the team as always. Yeah, definitely a good atmosphere here tonight, Chris.
George Williams here at the free throw line, looking to make it a 10-point game. And again, we've talked about London never really going away, but you don't want to stay this far behind for this long. 4:52 to go here in the third quarter. Moon's going to push the pace a bit. Gaines over to Williams Jr. Lots of switching happening. Massey defending Williams Jr. Williams Jr. won't be stopped anyway. He's going to make the bucket, 79-71.
Impressive play by Williams Jr. using the shoulder and the left side of his body, really forcing, not allowing the Cape Breton defender to block it.
Had a size mismatch, but still had a tough shot to make. Williams to the rim, no good. Kirk Williams will recover.
Bolden impacted that play there, Chris.
Bolden, again, just right on his defender in that hip pocket. Turnover from Moon. Massey down the floor. That's going to be Jamal Reynolds with a flush.
Ooh, Jamal Reynolds getting up. I thought that had layup written all over it. He wanted to prove me wrong, and nice get up from Reynolds there.
Reynolds, the Canadian, one of the best players off the bench in NBL Canada. Gaines is going to take the jumper. He makes it.
Can't touch it. If he's making his jump shots, he has such elevation, you cannot touch that jumper, Chris.
Back the other way, Johnson going right at Gaines, bumps him off, but can't make the bucket. Gaines the other way. Massey nipping at his heels. Turnover comes. That's going to be a foul on Cape Breton.
And you can tell with Gaines is another guy. London Lightning have a lot of these guys, especially given that they're all athletes that are really fueled, but they need to see the ball go in. Gaines, an incredible athlete. Not surprised that he would be able to get his rhythm going off a jumper like that.
Checking in the game for Bolden and Moon. It's going to be Marvin Phillips and Alex Johnson stepping onto the court. Gaines can't make the first. Fouls shooting, really not a thing to stake your pride on tonight for either team.
No.
Got to make your free throws,
Yeah,
kids.
I was about to say, kids, do not take this free throw shooting as an example.
Cape Breton almost didn't get the inbound off in time. Chris Johnson now down the floor.
I feel like there's going to be time dedicated in practice with inbound plays, Chris.
Again, a real sore spot for Cape Breton this game. Giddings, nice cut around Phillips. Massey open for three. How'd he get open? He can't make it, though. Scramble for the ball. No one able to recover. Out of bounds off London.
With the way Massey has been, not exactly a recipe for success to leave him open. Also, just great energy. Cape Breton getting the ball back, crashing the glass.
81-74, London closer, but not quite there yet. Massey inside. 3 yellow sweaters find him. Kicks it back out to Reynolds, and they're going to reset the offense here. Massey, top of the key, covered by Capers. Pull up 3, no good. A little too much swagger in that one as Gaines is back down the floor. London pushing the pace.
Oh, wow.
Gaines to the rim. Oh, almost a huge slam. He's going to get fouled instead.
Wow. London looking for a technical. Looked like Chris Johnson threw the ball up in the air. Kirk Williams really surprised. Referee showing some discretion here. Also, the fact that Gaines mid-air almost double pumped from going for the dunk to double pump, just unbelievable.
And Gaines misses another free throw.
I want to jump like that one time in my life, Chris.
Just get some moon boots for one
yeah,
jump.
exactly. Slam ball.
Gaines makes the second, 81-75 for the Cape Breton Highlanders. Chris Johnson up the floor. 2:50 to play here in the third quarter. Massey circles around. Johnson, top of the key,
Oh,
good.
Wow. You know what? That was Massey dissecting the defense. Slice and dicing, kick out. Chris Johnson clearly showing his ability to attack closeouts.
Massey's been an excellent playmaker down on the baseline when his cuts have been no good. Gaines, tough jumper. Can't get that to go. Cape Breton recovers. That was a bit of a crucial possession there for London as Cape Breton has a chance to make it a double-digit lead again. Williams works around the Giddings screen. Tries to dribble around Kirk Williams Jr. That's going to be an easy foul to call. Foul's going to be on the floor.
I was going to say, maybe not the prettiest drive. If that had been a bucket, unfortunately, if you're Cape Breton, didn't get the continuation on the play.
Well, basically, in that case, Kirk Williams Jr. was like, I'm not going to let you have the shot. I'm just going to hold on to you so you can't make it. And we've talked about that before. If you're going to foul a guy, make sure he can't get the bucket. Now, that foul was on the floor. However, it did put London over the limit, so that's why Williams will be shooting free throws here.
And again, we're not advocating for anything over the top. You just don't want to allow your guy to make the bucket.
You can make sure a guy doesn't make a bucket without mugging him. That's
Exactly.
what we're advocating for.
Exactly.
Williams makes both free throws. 10-point game.
We're not Don Cherry up here.
No. Hey, you got to hit the guy. No. Alex Johnson dribbling up against Bruce Massey. Phillips wanted Gaines to cut inside.
Whoa.
Pulls up over Giddings. No luck. Gaines able to elevate and get that finish.
What a rebound. He's just coming down now. Great anticipation. That's where he can also use his athleticism, Chris, on the offensive glass.
This is Chris Johnson now for Cape Breton.
Ooh, nice move.
Trying to keep that double-digit lead. Giddings working around Phillips. Phillips defends him well. Almost loses the handle, actually. Jamal Reynolds cutting around Gaines. Williams, not much time, but makes it.
Wow.
Huge three-pointer from Cape Breton, 88-77, pardon me.
I was just about to give credit to London for a great defensive possession, really blowing up some of the action.
That's as frustrating
Cape
as it
Breton was
gets.
going for. That is a backbreaker of a three, even though it's only the third, Chris.
Still lots of time, but again, if you talk about flow of the game, that one hurts your team. Gaines, top of the key. Everything and in as he's able to make the bucket. 88-79, 9-point game, 48 seconds to play. Williams going to slow it down. Massey cross court to Johnson. 3, no good. Recovery by Cape Breton. Jamal Reynolds able to finish the 2.
Jamal Reynolds getting on the glass. Easy 2.
This is really how Cape Breton likes to play, these big slugfests. Here's Alex Johnson now. Mismatch here. Almost lost his footing. Williams Jr. open for 3, no good. London trying to rebound. Phillips collects and finishes. Marvin Phillips again, creating buckets every time he makes those rebounds. A ton of offensive rebounds for Phillips in this game.
Oh,
Massey able to go to the rim. Kirk Williams Jr. leveled by Giddings on his screen.
wow.
We're going to have some concern here for Kirk Williams Jr.
Tough screen, Chris.
I only caught it in my peripheral. It didn't look like it was a dirty screen, just a very hard one.
And you know what, Chris? A lot of times those screens are very borderline. Might not be the right word for it, but those are just tough plays. The guy who gets screened can probably feel like, hey, that might have been a little extra than allowed. Tough play, and opened up Massey, however, to get that bucket.
So some storylines from tonight's game. Mike Glover making his debut with the Cape Breton Highlanders. Played a little bit in the first, but clearly being eased in gently into that Cape Breton lineup. Looking at some of the other storylines from this game, Bruce Massey, a huge storyline for the Cape Breton Highlanders in this game. He has been dominant for Cape Breton. Of course, we had a little bit of a dust-up earlier, just at the end of the second half. Resulted in nothing happening but two teams jawing at each other. It's been a bit heated since then, as both teams are really just physical and battling today. One of the other storylines from tonight's game, the start of the game from Cape Breton, in the complete 180 they turned. 9 turnovers in the first quarter, including 3 turnovers and 2 fouls in the first minute 20 by Cape Breton. But they have been lights out since that first quarter and are now finding themselves up 11 on the London Lightning in Budweiser Gardens. So we watch some free throw shooting not go in.
Interested to see Kirk Williams, if that was just a winded situation or if something more serious. Obviously a key part of this London Lightning team. Really, London this year, if you look at it, a lot of those guys, those 6'6", 6'7" guys who have really been versatile, but obviously the veteran savvy of a guy like Kirk Williams, that's definitely a potential hit. Looks like he's coming back, though, which is a great sign if you're London as you try to claw your way back into this game.
And London finding success with a bigger lineup in this game. Clawed their way back in that third quarter, pardon me. And we're going to enter this fourth quarter now, 92-81 for the Cape Breton Highlanders. This should be an exciting finish. It's been an absolute brawl between these two teams.
Without it being a brawl, thankfully.
Without a literal brawl, yes.
Yes.
or 81, pardon me, both teams ready to start off this fourth quarter as Johnson inbounds to Williams. Williams over to Massey. This is the hot hand for Cape Breton. A little quieter in that third quarter, though. Massey, the 3, everything but in, and London recovers the rebound. Gaines down the floor. He's going to make the shot, and he's going to be shooting too.
Again, Gaines starting to really put himself on the score sheet a little bit here with getting on the rebounds, attacking, especially with that athleticism, tough to stop. You're either going to get the bucket or you're going to get fouled.
And AJ Gaines, one of the best dunkers I think we've seen here in London.
I would say one of the very select dunkers we've seen here in London. A guy like Maxwell you got to think of as well. Right up there with that type of
with
athlete.
Maxwell, though, we're talking like a power dunker. With Gaines, it's all elevation.
Absolutely.
Kickball there on Alex Johnson. Cape Breton going to reset. Should add we have no live stats. Bruce Massey, though, at 27 points at the end of the third quarter there.
At the end of the third.
18
Oh,
for Mo
wow.
Bolden to lead London. Cape Breton Reynolds, the up and under.
Massey doing everything, just shook Kirk Williams at the top of the key and then found Reynolds cutting. Just Massey showing every tool in the toolbox so far, Chris.
Bab Harrison turns it over, and Kirk Williams takes a shot, too. This is Jamal Reynolds back down the court. Gaines just going to foul him. Knew they didn't have numbers. You had a foul to give. Why not?
Yeah, I'm not against it, especially, you're trying to get in the game. Last thing you need is for Cape Breton to kind of have a pull-away spurt. Get your defense set. We got a mismatch down low, though, Chris, here.
Chris Johnson on Alex Johnson. He'll finish.
That's where, if you're London, you got to recognize the situation. Somebody's got to help off a man to help Johnson down low. Superman Johnson down low.
AJ Gaines loses footing. He's going to make the bucket. Cape Breton calling for a travel. I don't know if you can count it if it's just his foot sliding.
Yeah.
Turnover there. Another sloppy one by Cape Breton. You got to think they'd be up 20 if they don't have so many turnovers in this game.
How many did we count in the first half, Chris? Or did the
first quarter, there was 9
quarter,
turnovers from Cape Breton. Up until that one, they had knocked that number down to only 12, so they only had 3 the rest of the way. However, that'll make it 4 for Cape Breton since that first quarter. 96-85, 10:22 to play. This is Jalen Bab Harrison. Gaines working on Williams. Doesn't get the shot off in time. That's a 24-second violation.
London a little slow getting into their set there. Clearly, Coach Etherington making a point. Gaines is showing some signs of life here. Try to get him the ball. Just they didn't really get into their set quick enough to get him a shot in around time that they needed to.
Massey working on Kirk Williams Jr. Inside, this is Jamal Reynolds. Able to get the floater to go. Jamal Reynolds having himself a game. He's over 20 as well. Inside, Kirk Williams Jr. wide open for the finish.
Coach Fitz Gonzalez just with his arms in the air. What happened?
Well, Williams Jr. gets the ball, counts to 10, and then could finish. Chris Johnson working around a screen. And back the other way. McCullough into the game for Cape Breton. He's getting his first after Gaines. Almost the highlight reel. The pass wasn't as good. Phillips will flush it. The fans get their dunk, 98-89.
Martin Phillips saying, I'll just dunk it in a little bit more pedestrianly. Still, though, with Martin
Phillips. It's
Phillips,
not how, it's how many.
You don't want to jump with Marvin Phillips even, though, Chris. Oh, Massey just incredible on the offensive end. Shaking the defender, taking the contact. The way he's been playing tonight, Chris, I'm amazed he didn't get the end one.
And checking into the game now, Mo Bolden and Marcus Capers coming in for London. AJ Gaines and Jalen Bab Harrison going to take a breather.
Interested to see if Mo Bolden can continue the pace he was on earlier. Again, a guy with Mo Bolden's game, you really can tell when he's able to attack the rim, really kind of elevates the rest of his offensive arsenal. Let's see if the time on the bench maybe cooled it or if he continues that hot hand.
Massey's going to miss the first. Again, the bulk of the scoring for Cape Breton coming from Massey and Jamal Reynolds. Together, they've got over half the points for Cape Breton.
Two-headed monster, Chris. Really been impressed with how they've played. Not just creating their own offense, but using each other to get buckets.
99-89, 10-point game, 8:53 to play. You've got Bolden on Massey. You have to go to that matchup. Bolden faces him up. Takes the jumper over Massey and makes it. Bolden's still hot.
They're liking him on that camera, far side, almost elbow extended. They've been getting that matchup with Massey, and that's one way to attack a really good offensive player, is to make him play defense, Chris.
Try to tire him out here as Massey makes a nice feed. But they're going to call an offensive foul. I believe that's a moving pick on McCullough. Capers back down the floor, sleeping Cape Breton. He's going to get fouled. That's Reynolds committing the foul, and Capers going to go to the line again.
Absolutely, Chris. You can see Massey collecting the team. You can see before the ball got inbounded, imploring his teammates, get back. Marcus Capers and the Lightning taking advantage. Now they've got a chance for 2 points here, Chris.
We're going to have Redpath and Famatimi check in for Cape Breton. Johnson going to check out, as well as George Williams.
Johnson played really well so far tonight, Chris. Both ends. Wonder how long he will be out for.
And Capers makes the first.
I can tell you this, I doubt we see Massey or Reynolds out for the rest of this game, Chris.
Oh, absolutely not.
Bold prediction, I know, but
what a hot take.
Very
My
hot
face
take.
is melting from how hot that take was.
Very hot take, but it is interesting, though, Chris. You talked about them coming from the game against Windsor. How much in the tank?
That will be tested. 8 minutes to play here. Jamal Reynolds over to Williams.
Oh!
Swatted by Marvin Phillips.
Whoa!
Get out of here. Capers back down the other way. This is Alex Johnson. The momentum. Three. He gets it. Alex Johnson, the huge sequence. The fans are now back in this building. 3-point game. Cape Breton, they've got some issues here. Back the other way. Here's Redpath, open court.
Didn't want any of that.
Didn't want anything
Marvin
to do with that.
Phillips.
Massey now covered by Johnson. Numbers in Cape Breton's favor. Tough shot from Massey. London recovers. Chance to bring this to the closest score we've seen since mid-second quarter. Bolden laneway in. Maurice Bolden. And a very necessary timeout there from Cape Breton as the Highlanders now on their heels with London coming back. 99-98 off of huge block from Marvin Phillips and the finish from Mo Bolden.
You know what symbolized it? You know who Kirk Williams went after right just then? Massey. You know, you got to think a lot of that yapping. You know, these guys are proud, you know? They're proud athletes, proud competitors. You know they just didn't want to go down, especially when Cape Breton had that. London stepping up. Unbelievable block by Marvin Phillips. We've seen Marvin Phillips do so much for this team in so many different assets of the game, or aspects of the game, I should say. What a block. And then, you know, can you blame a guy like Redpath looking, I don't necessarily want to go into the lane after I saw what I just saw. And a defensive miscommunication in transition, allowing Bolden to go in, and another guy that you don't necessarily want to jump with, Chris.
So after that huge momentum swing, the London Lightning
Back
finding themselves
in it.
down almost the entire second half and most of the second quarter as well. Just like that, only a 1-point game. Huge momentum plays from the London veterans, Marvin Phillips, Kirk Williams Jr., and Maurice Bolden.
We were at, I believe it was 81-92, Chris.
Yeah.
At the end of the third, London with just pouring it on early here. This was the London from the start of the game, Chris.
So a recap of what we've seen so far. At one point, this Cape Breton lead up to 20, no more, as London finds themselves only down one off of a couple of clutch plays here.
And, you know, we talked about turnovers being a catalyst early on for London getting kind of that lead and building that energy, attacking in transition, getting those easy buckets. The other aspect of it is blocks, rebounds, and really immediate turns when you get that board, not kind of just sticking around. And here we've got a little pressure to keep that momentum up, Chris.
Whoa!
A foul!
Right off the bat, an offensive foul, the worst start you could ask for. Olu Famatimi just bowling over Kirk Williams Jr. And yet again, a London vet making a key play at a key moment.
Famatimi maybe questioning how quickly Williams Jr. went down there, but doesn't matter. Kirk Williams Jr. helping London get the ball here, and with a chance to take the lead, Chris. I didn't think we'd be saying that the way Cape Breton was playing earlier in this game.
5 minutes, unthinkable, but 5 minutes can change a lot. London a chance to pull ahead for the first time since the second quarter.
Welcome to the NBL. We've seen this
Yes.
a number of times, Chris. Very big momentum swings.
Phillips now over to Johnson. He'll set the offense. Bolden space. Phillips inside. Can't finish. Harassed enough. Back the other way. Cape Breton.
Good last-second defense by Cape Breton.
This is Famatimi. You gotta take some time. Massey, one-on-one with Capers. Inside. Reynolds doesn't like his options, loses his dribble. Redpath trying to cut inside. Tough jumper, not much time on the shot clock. The bank is open, though.
I don't know if he called it, but that was a bailout. Very poor spacing on the offensive end by Cape Breton. Redpath with a Hail Mary-esque shot.
Phillips. Oh, pump fake slam! Marvin Phillips. The huge finish.
He said, Tom, you called that a little bit pedestrian dunk? Shut up. I'm going up with force.
Here's Cape Breton back the other way. Jamal Reynolds can't finish. Very errant shot. Williams, Hail Mary, that's out of bounds on Cape Breton.
Again,
101-100.
That was the rebound. It wasn't necessarily a turnover, Chris. It was the rebound immediately up the floor. Marcus Capers, like a sprinter, getting down. And what if it wasn't for maybe a fingernail, that's another dunk for London.
Mo Bolden takes the inbound. Works around Reynolds and slam! Mo Bolden, are you kidding me?
I mean, when Mo Bolden does those sort of things, he is maybe the most unique, gifted player in the NBL, Chris.
London so far winning the dunk contest as the Cape Breton Highlanders working around the perimeter.
And look at the intensity on defense, Chris.
Williams, the swipe, doesn't get it. Back the other way. Cape Breton recovers. Redpath over to Reynolds. Reynolds cuts inside. Tough shot. Can't make it, but he'll go to the line for two.
Just what the doctor ordered for Cape Breton there. Slow it down, get to the line, get two hopefully easy ones. I like that from Reynolds, you know, especially when you've seen London really coming out aggressively here in these past few minutes, attacking the rim, but also defensively. Maybe Bolden had a big block, Phillips had a big block, also really altering shots. For Reynolds to say, I don't care, I'm still getting to the rim, I'm still going to draw a foul, impressive play.
Reynolds, the front runner for both Canadian of the Year and Sixth Man of the Year, having an excellent game for Cape Breton. He's well over 20 points in this one.
I respect anybody who wants to get into the lane with Marvin Phillips.
After that block.
Those blocks. Credit to Reynolds.
You can hear the brakes squeal whenever you see Phillips in the paint. Johnson working on Redpath, screen set by Williams. They're trying to go to Bolden down low. He's got the mismatch here on Famatimi. Using the footwork, he's going to get fouled. That'll be on the floor.
I like that from Bolden, though. You know, drew the foul, also didn't have the blinders on, was able to find Kirk Williams. Obviously a foul on the floor beforehand, but that aggressive mindset, they like him in this spot, Chris.
This game really turned around when Bolden started calling his own number. Here's Alex Johnson working on Redpath. Crosses him over. The pass is errant, though. Jamal Reynolds back the other way. Going right at Bolden.
Oh!
That's going to be a block. They are calling the foul. Looked like Fitz Gonzalez is going to hit his head on the roof if the ref hadn't called that foul.
By the way, absolute credit to Reynolds. Being in attack mode, he's going to the line again. And these are not little tic-tac fouls, Chris. He is taking a beating going to the line. Really impressed with his aggressive mindset.
103-102, Reynolds makes the first. 2-point lead as the Highlanders have a little bit of breathing space for the first time in the past couple of transition buckets. The Canadian makes both. 3-point game, London back down the floor. Alex Johnson working around Redpath to the rim and in. Tough finish from Alex Johnson. 1-point game. Cape Breton has numbers here. Redpath, the three, good. A huge three-pointer, and Cape Breton back in the driver's seat. 4-point game.
Redpath calm as can be, coming down in transition, pulling up for three.
First time in almost 6 minutes that we've been able to say it's not a one-bucket game. Kirk Williams backs inside. No good. Cape Breton recovers. Famatimi. Almost turned over. Reynolds is going to cut inside, but that's a foul on Capers.
Here we got Chris Johnson back in, Chris. London obviously knowing here, Chris, that it's a very pivotal point in the game with this gap, getting a stop of critical importance. Interesting to see, though, we've seen a number of really well drawn up plays by Fitz-Gonzalez with ATOs. Interesting to see what he comes out with here.
108-104, the Cape Breton Highlanders leading the London Lightning. Recap so far, Mike Glover made his Cape Breton debut as the Highlanders came out to a rough start. 3 turnovers in the first minute 20 of the game, along with 2 fouls, and 9 turnovers in the first quarter. Have only committed 5 the rest of the way, though. Played a disciplined brand of basketball to get themselves out in front. Went into halftime with a commanding lead, and then went in up 11 over London heading into the fourth. London battling back, led by Mo Bolden and Marvin Phillips, making some key plays. Got this down to really a point where London was leading by 1, but they never led by more, and Cape Breton have now fought back to make this only a 4-point game, but with them in the lead. .443 to go, a pivotal moment in this game. London trying to keep pace with the Cape Breton Highlanders. Highlanders putting in an incredible effort considering the game they played last night against the Windsor Express.
Yeah, very impressive effort by Cape Breton. Again, London going with that taller lineup, point guard, 4 forwards.
This is the lineup that got London in the lead earlier.
Ooh.
Tough screen from Giddings again. He's thrown just some absolute haymakers of screens. Massey working on Phillips. Got the speed mismatch here. Phillips defends as well as he can, but Massey too good. 2 on the shot clock, buries it.
That was,
can't defend that.
Yeah, that was just great offense. Good defense, great offense.
Johnson now setting up for London.
Interesting change here, Chris. Giddings.
Giddings now the height matchup against Bolden. And they're going to say out of bounds there. That's going to be Cape Breton ball.
You like the aggressiveness by Bolden. I would be stunned if they do not go right back to that play their next time up the floor, Chris.
6-point game, 4 minutes to play. Bruce Massey over to Giddings. Reynolds, top of the key, drives in. Williams tried to jump the route, couldn't get it. Now back the other way is London. Alex Johnson looking for points where every bucket is crucial at this point of the game. Inside to Williams Jr. Kicked out of Phillips. Extra pass. Bolden 3. No good. Everything but in. Cape Breton now has to come back the other way. Redpath.
Johnson all over him.
Trying to get some space. Spins around Johnson. Forced left. Makes a great pass, but Williams Jr. just not going to let him have the bucket. That's Chris Johnson heading to the line for 2.
Kirk Williams clearly taking what we've mentioned, Chris. Do not let him make the basket. Johnson, though, strength, almost was able to just like will that up to the rim and get maybe potentially a bounce.
Kirk Williams leading the league in hugs so far in this game. Johnson makes the first. Again, Johnson, an NBLC vet, has spent time with Niagara and the Island Storm. He'll make them both. Highlanders continue to expand this lead. It's now up to 8. Johnson looking at his options. Bolden covered well by Giddings. It's interesting. Johnson, the 3, no good. Off the top of the backboard, London recovers it. Williams, the hustle play. Phillips to Johnson. London scrambling a bit here. This is Kirk Williams Jr. It's good. A huge three-pointer from London.
Huge three-pointer, Chris.
Incredibly important bucket for the London Lightning. Johnson covered by Bolden. Johnson clearly the guy they're afraid of now. That's an offensive foul. I think that's one too many hard screens there from Giddings as Kirk Williams Jr. hits the deck again.
Kirk Williams Jr., I'm amazed that the Budweiser Garden hardwood here doesn't have a dent in it. Kirk Williams Jr. has been that is two absolutely vicious. Three.
He's had three now.
Three absolutely vicious screens. You're right, Chris. Interested to see what London comes out here. Clearly liking Bolden far side elbow extended on some action. Interested to see they go back to it.
This is Capers. You know, it's been interesting that Giddings is basically staying at the top of the key, not going anywhere else. Bolden working it over to Johnson.
Coming this side now.
Bolden, other side, cuts in. He's going to get fouled.
And one. Wow.
Huge play from the London vet. Chance to make this only a 2-point game after it looked like Cape Breton was pulling away again.
Again, decide to flip that play, Chris. They like that little two-man game with Superman Johnson and Bolden, and why not? It's been unbelievably productive for them.
Bolden looking to make the 3-point play. London doesn't look very interested in the rebound. And they won't make the bucket. 3-point game. Johnson. Over to Massey. We haven't seen much of him since the media timeout. Over to Giddings. Can't make the jumper. Phillips collects.
Great job keeping that high. A lot of guys looking for it.
2 minutes to play. Bolden just guts right to the rim and in.
Oh, wow.
Another and one play from Mo Bolden.
You want to say the development of Mo Bolden, Chris? Late fourth quarter, attacking the rim, contact and one. He just didn't have that early on. Really impressive. And Chris, make a free throw.
Make a free throw, tie the game. You got to make your free throws, kids. Bolden makes it. Again, this game really turned around for London when Mo Bolden started taking over. He's been exceptional for the Lightning. That's after being ejected in their last game. He comes out here and puts on an incredible performance for the Lightning. Speaking of incredible performances, Massey. Inside, this is Reynolds. Up and over Johnson, no good. Phillips
defense.
Recovers.
Good defense by Johnson, clearly at a height disadvantage, forcing a tough shot by Reynolds.
Again, no live stats, but Marvin Phillips has to be all over the rebounding charts.
Here we go again on this far side, Chris.
Bolden, elbow extended again. Jumper over Massey, no good. No one there to rebound. Here's Chris Johnson now for Cape Breton. They're pushing the pace. Highlanders to the rim, Redpath. Works around the baseline, no dice, pulls it back out.
Mismatch
14.
with Massey.
14 on the shot clock, Massey. Working on Alex Johnson. Kirk Williams comes to help. Can't get it to go. Back the other way. Massey holding his face. London's got numbers. Attack the rim. Johnson and one. Huge play from Alex.
The crowd, giving the crowd to get up.
Huge play from Alex Superman Johnson as the London Lightning now have the lead again.
Alex Johnson seeing the mismatch with Massey getting hurt down on the other end, attacking the rim.
And Massey still seems to be in pain. He's over by the Cape Breton bench. I don't think he's going to leave the game. A little of a break here. I think London's deciding, is talking whether or not Massey should be taken out of the game for the amount of time he spent on the floor. And it looks like they are going to make him go to the bench.
Interesting decision here, Chris.
He spent quite a bit of time down, and London campaigning for him to take a seat. Well, after the dust clears, it looks like Massey's going to stay on the court. Jamal Reynolds did head to the bench. George Williams in his place.
Well, I could imagine, too, if there's a cut, they wanted to be sure he was...
Ooh, Redpath fouled hard going for the rebound. You know, a little bit of gamesmanship by London. They almost sent their own trainer to check on Massey, even though Cape Breton's wasn't even there.
We're just really concerned he's cut, Chris.
We're just London are just really concerned about player safety on that one. 114, 112, 56 seconds to go. Both teams over the limit, so Redpath going to shoot free throws here. Makes the first. This one will be to tie it. Makes them both. Huge free throws there.
Redpath not even looking like he had a pulse there, just going up cold-blooded, burying both.
London looking to take the lead in these final moments. Alex Johnson over to Williams. Bolden. They clear out. Bolden goes right at Redpath, ditches him. Phillips inside, no one there. Capers was not ready.
Oh, tough break for the
Phillips got to
London
take the
Lightning.
shot there.
Yeah, Mo Bolden doing a great job forcing help defender in just a great cross-court feed to Marvin Phillips. You like the attempt to be unselfish, but unfortunate turnover.
No dice here, 30 seconds, Cape Breton. Bruce Massey, he has been dominant in this game. Working on Capers. Williams hits the deck again. Massey over to Chris Johnson, no good. London, a chance to take the lead, 15 seconds left. They're gonna get ready for these final moments. 114, crowd on their feet. 6 seconds to go. Johnson versus Redpath takes the three, no good. Cape Breton the other way, won't get that shot off. And for the second time in 3 home games for the London Lightning, we will go to overtime.
Take a deep breath, Chris.
Woo.
Take a deep breath.
Another tight finish. London unable to get that final bucket.
Can I be honest with you there, Chris? I would have liked to see Mo Bolden with that ball in the final. The way he's been playing on this end, again, you got to have faith in everybody. Alex Johnson has made some clutch baskets as we come down the stretch here. But Mo Bolden's ability at the end here has been really brought London back into it. And here you're looking at Cape Breton after on a back-to-back, now going into an overtime, Chris. How much more is in the tank?
Again, Cape Breton, a very, very difficult road trip that they're on here in Ontario. They played against Windsor last night in a very hard-fought 108-104 game.
Free basketball.
Free basketball indeed. Cape Breton looking, again, they had the lead against the London Lightning for most of this second half, and unfortunately London just able to pull it back with maybe 7 minutes to go. Cape Breton, you don't really get too much of a rest after this either. .114 all. Tom, who stood out for you tonight?
You know, I'm looking at, of course, Mo Bolden. We've had just great individual performances all around. Massey, Reynolds, Bolden, Phillips. Gaines has had a few moments. Big men for Cape Breton has been great on the glass. Just an impressive game all around. And we've seen some incredible performances so far. Let's see if those continue into overtime, Chris.
Bulk of the scoring for Cape Breton coming from 3 guys. Massey with 30 points, 17 points from Chris Johnson, and then 25 from Jamal Reynolds. Reynolds also adding 10 rebounds for the double-double. Massey, 10 assists for his own double-double. For London, Mo Bolden, 29 points to lead the way. And then the vet, Marvin Phillips, 17 points, 13 rebounds to help London claw back. And, of course, a couple of huge blocks there from Phillips as well.
Yeah, shame on me for forgetting Reynolds and Johnson for Cape Breton specifically. Really impressive.
Only 2 blocks for Marvin Phillips, but a very impactful 2 blocks. We're here in overtime, 5 minutes left. Bolden, inside to Phillips, slam! Oh! Marvin Phillips!
All created by Bolden on the far side, looking to see where the double team would come. Picked out Phillips, and again, not many guys want to jump with Marvin Phillips.
Phillips has been a beast in this game. Massey to the rim and in. Speaking of beasts, we have a tie game right back to where we were to start this overtime. Alex Superman Johnson taking his time setting up. They want Bolden on that elbow extended, as you mentioned. Phillips over to Capers. Capers inside to Phillips. Phillips over Giddings, no luck.
Great defense by Giddings.
Massey back the other way. Double team comes. Giddings open. He's got the height advantage, and he finishes.
Again, wanted to give him a shout out when you're talking about impact players, Chris. Really been impactful on both ends. Using his size. Not all big men end up doing that, Chris. He's been able to take advantage.
Johnson over to Bolden. This is his spot, cuts in, and can't finish, though.
Looked for contact, didn't happen, wasn't able to adjust.
Look at Capers immediately get all over Bruce Massey. He's not going to let Massey touch the ball. I'd be surprised if we didn't see a yellow 14 jersey following Massey around the rest of the overtime.
Might follow him to the other bench, Chris.
Chris Johnson cuts inside, open lane, can't finish. They're going to call the foul there.
Key thing when we get into close games like this, Chris, Cape Breton, one of the top teams at the free throw line, not just getting there, the amount they make, good percentage as well. Definitely something to consider as we get into 3:13 left here in overtime.
Chris Johnson at the free throw line. Can't connect on the
Sorry,
first.
Cape Breton. Sorry, Cape Breton. I apologize. That was
And Tom Crouch is the biggest jinx in Ontario. Chris Johnson for the second. Some movement off the start. Surprisingly, no lane violation as London's going to take the ball here. 119-116, 3 minutes to go. Alex Johnson. They're definitely trying to get Mo Bolden from his spot right here. Works around Chris Johnson. Ooh, picked off by Bruce Massey. He has to play cornerback the way he's been picking off passes. Redpath over to Williams for three. No good, but Cape Breton recovers.
What a play.
Great play from Giddings there. Massey going to bleed some more time off of this clock. Cape Breton up by 3. They can afford it. Massey covered by Bolden. Massey fouled on his way to the rim. Again, London over the limit, so this will send Cape Breton to the line.
Massey with just some incredible shake at the top of the key. Almost nobody has been able to stay with him.
Now, you can't quite see it on camera, but Capers down on the ground again.
He's been a warrior. We've noticed since like the second quarter, Chris, he's been hurt.
Again, Capers was coming off of an injury not all that long ago. Massey going to miss the first.
You'd have to drag him off the court.
It's true. Pretty sure we could take everyone in this building. We still wouldn't be able to get him off the court. Massey's second. That one's good. 4-point game.
Bolden tried to pass there. Let's see if he shows some aggressiveness when he gets the ball next.
Johnson going directly at Redpath. Here's Bolden. Back to Johnson. Tough shot. Johnson's not going to connect, but that's a foul on Redpath.
Great job by Johnson. He made sure that contact happened. We talk about it, Chris, hunting the chest. Perfect example of it there. He's going to the line, trying to make 2 for London.
Crucial free throws here for London. Trying to keep within reach, make the first, back to a one-possession game. Makes them both. We're back to a 2-point game. Capers again, just shadowing Massey. It's almost synchronized, too.
Yeah.
The way Capers is able to cover him. Redpath looking to break open, doesn't. Johnson into Giddings. Over to Massey. He finally loses Capers. Phillips defends well.
Great defense off the ball.
Incredible defense, and I think we're going to have a foul on Giddings there.
That was created by the defense off the ball. Marvin Phillips on the switch. Made sure to not allow Massey any space there. And then all of the lightning off the ball, sticking to their men. No outlet, forced a foul from the Cape Breton to try to get open.
You know, Massey finally forces a switch. It's possibly the worst guy to switch into. Marvin Phillips right in your face. Kirk Williams Jr. pushed by Redpath. It's a pretty easy call for the ref on that one. I know Redpath's not happy.
And if you're a coach, you can't be happy because here comes London right to the line.
That's 5 on Redpath as well, so Redpath doesn't have too much time left in this game. aside from what's on the clock. Williams Jr. makes the first. This is the one that matters to tie the game.
They all matter, Chris.
I see it in the comments, Massey is well over 30 at this point. Fronts the rim, but Phillips recovers. London the opportunity to take the lead here. Williams Jr. over to Bolden. Fakes, cuts in.
Oh,
Turnover back the other way is Cape Breton. Chris Johnson's going to slow it down.
great job by Johnson cutting off the lane, getting the steal.
Johnson over to Massey. Immediately bumps into Kirk Williams Jr.
Again, Kirk Williams Jr. probably a few dents in the hardwood the way he's been hitting the floor today in the deck.
He's making the kids with the mop work tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Massey looked like he actually went into the electronic sign there at the scoreboard. Let's see if he's able to shake it off and make these, Chris.
120 to 119. Massey can make this a three-point game from the line. The crowd really rooting for him. Makes the first. Makes them both back to a three-point game. Minute 32 to play. House Johnson taking his time. Johnson's got the speed mismatch here. Bolden the three, no good. London can't recover. Capers all over Massey. Massey running out of time to get down the
Trapping
floor.
him. Oh,
Giddings
Capers.
another tough screen. Redpath wide open, but they're not going to take the shot. That's Chris Johnson who's going to instead bleed the clock. Massey double teamed. Works out of the double team. Open lane and finishes.
Oh, wow.
Bruce Massey, the crucial bucket. Now it's a two-possession game.
Huge bucket. London clearly trying to trap there, unable to do so.
Johnson. London needing a bucket. Phillips, the three, no good. Can they collect it? No, they can't. That's going to be a foul on Mo Bolden. Massey, you know, for every time we've talked about Kirk Williams Jr.
Massey
hitting the
might
deck,
as well.
Massey,
It would be the
Massey's
same.
been down there just as much.
What an incredible game from Massey, Chris.
And now he has the chance to put this one away from the free throw line.
On the second night of a back-to-back, to be in overtime and to put up this type of
A loss, too.
a loss and to come out here, a very tough building to play in.
Should add, Massey played over 40 minutes in that game last night.
It looks like we actually got tech here, Chris, from Kirk Williams.
Like a frustration foul there. Oh, pardon me, and that also is Kirk Williams Jr.'s sixth foul.
Yeah.
Now for London, pardon me, Capers is on the floor. He's just taking a seat. Thought they only had 4 guys out there. Meeting a kid at courtside.
Trying to get some support with the fans there.
So now they're going to have an extra free throw for Massey because of the tech. If Massey makes these free throws, that'll all but do it.
Dare I say one of the best individual performances we've seen, Chris?
Incredibly so for Massey. Clutch, too. The Boo Birds out for Bruce Massey. And I mentioned this time last year, the game Cape Breton played here at Bud Gardens, Massey put on an incredible performance in that one, too. Just a gifted scorer, and boy, did he ever score tonight.
As you said, though, double-double. He's done it all, Chris.
He's been passing, too, over 10 assists. 127, 119, 48 seconds to go. Quick three from Superman, makes it. A little bit of life, maybe, for the London Lightning. 4 seconds made it a 5-point game. You need to stop now. Or do you foul?
Oh,
Almost the pull. And they're going to call the foul instead.
London thinking that might have been a little quick, the whistle there. They had Massey in a really bad spot underneath his own hoop.
So Massey back to where he just was at the free throw line. .127, 122, and I said it last time, but maybe it counts this time. Can all but put it away with free throws.
I'm not going to say how good Cape Breton is at the line.
And he'll make them both. A very accurate comment I'm reading in the chat. Cape Breton does seem to have some difficulties inbounding the ball. Giddings forces the turnover, and that's also the guy you would have wanted to foul. London going to try and force a turnover. 33 seconds left. Massey